All right, we are going to make a game called Window Cleaner, and in this game, you are going to end up being the controller that interacts on the screen. So your camera is going to be part of this game eventually. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's click Create, and again, let's go ahead and make sure that we name this with your last name. Please don't put Pasafumi. That's my last name. So I'll do my last name, you do your own, and I'm going to just do WC for Window Cleaner for this one right here. Okay, so for this one, we're not going to need the cat, so go ahead and delete the cat. We're actually going to create a couple of our own sprites for this. So new sprite, paintbrush. This will be easiest if we're on bitmap. It'll just be quicker and easier if we do that. So what you're going to do here is you're just going to take your paintbrush. You're going to choose a color, the size of your paintbrush. Let's see what 10 looks like. 10 should be okay. Maybe a little bigger is fine too. But you're basically going to draw paint splats right now. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. You're going to fill most of this lighter part of the screen. So just start drawing some splats here. So imagine that paint hits a window or something like that. So just sort of a random paint splatter design. You can even put a couple little extra pieces there. Make sure when you draw this, though, that you don't leave any gaps, that you close off any gaps. Like if you did something like this, that would be bad because when we fill these, it's going to go everywhere. So make sure everything's closed. And then go ahead and switch to the paint bucket and go ahead and fill in your paint splats right there. So that's perfect. You can make it any color that you want. It's too big at the moment, but we will shrink it later. And we are good. So now let's make another costume. I want you to make about 4 costumes here. So I'm going to pause the video. Well, actually, let me just do this. So over here in the costume editor, I'm going to click the paintbrush again. It's going to add a second blank costume. I'm going to pick a different color. So I'll go with red this time. I'll make sure I'm on the paintbrush. And again, just drawing a splatter. It should be a little different than the other one, but you get the idea, same thing. All right, I'm going to pause the video. I'm not going to make you watch me draw the next 2, but just repeat that process a couple times so that you have, or let's say 4. We want to have 4 paint splatters when we're done here. All right, so I've got my 4 paint splat costumes right here. I'm not a very good artist, but I did the best that I could. All right, so let's name this. We're going to call this Splats. Always want to name your sprites. You don't want to give them the generic name. All right, so we need to make a few variables that we're going to use in our game here. So let's click on Variables and click Make a Variable. So we're going to make 3 variables right now. The first one is max splats. And leave it for all sprites and click OK. The second one is score. If you get the choice to make it a cloud variable, do that. Click OK. And then finally, one more variable we're going to make is splats on screen. So what we're going to do with these variables is we're going to keep score with the score one, obviously, but with the other ones, we're going to keep count of how many paint splats are visible on the screen because we're going to put a maximum on that to make sure that we don't have too much on the screen. All right, but let's add some code now to the sprite. So we're going to do when green flag is clicked. We're going to hide the sprites initially. We're going to then go to our variable area, and we're going to set some sprites here, set some variables, excuse me. We're going to set max splats to 10, so we're never going to have more than 10 splats on the screen at the same time. We're going to set score to 0, so every time we start the game, it starts at 0. And since there's no splats on the screen at the start of the game, we're going to set that to 0 as well. Then we want to put a forever loop. So under Control, click Forever. And we want to put an if-then statement inside this forever. And basically here we're going to control how the splats appear on the screen. So we need to go to the operator area, and you need to choose the less than, the one in the middle. Bring that out. And then we're going to drop, instead of putting values here, we're going to put variables. So if splats on screen is less than max splats. So the max splats is 10. Every time a splat appears on screen, splats on screen is going to go up by 1. So if it's less than 10, we want them to keep Okay, so if the splats on screen are less than the max splats, we want splats to keep appearing until they get up to the maximum amount. So we're going to go to, but the splats are too big, so let's first set the size. So set size, but we want it to be random. We want them to appear a little differently. So we're going to do pick random, and we're going to say 10 to 25%. So we don't want them to be too big and take up too much of the screen because we want to fit a lot of them on the screen. Then we're going to find a switch costume. And we wanted to pick a random one of the 4 costumes that we have. So remember, we have costume 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you end up making more costumes, then you would change this value. So we want this to be random as well. So pick a random between 1 and 4. So drop that in there. So make this 1 to 4. And then we want them to appear in a random spot on the screen. So grab a go to XY block. And again, drag 2 pick randoms out. Put 1 in the X and put 1 in the Y. And basically, we want them to be able to appear anywhere on the screen. So we're going to do negative 200 to 200. So that's the X value. So basically, it could appear anywhere all the way from the left to the right of the screen, just about. And then the Y-axis, which is up and down, we're going to do negative 150 to 150, which will basically let it appear anywhere on the Y-axis. So it could appear anywhere on the screen, basically, right now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create clones. We're going to use what are called clones in this. So we're going to have a bunch of sprites appear on the screen, but we don't need to make a sprite for each instance. We can just go ahead and have it create what are called clones of itself. So find create a clone of myself in the control one, make sure that goes in the if-then statement. So this is going to control the splats appearing on screen. Now, this is going to control how many splats appear on screen and how often. Now we want that to control what they're going to do when they come onto the screen. So in order to do this, we're going to start with this when I start as a clone. So anytime we create a clone, so remember right here we said create a clone of myself. So anytime we do that, we want to make some changes here. So every time one appears, we want to change splats on screen by 1. So when 1 appears, it should add 1 to splats on screen because remember, we have a maximum amount on the screen. So then we want it to show. And basically, we want to wait until the mouse pointer, in this case, touches it. I told you that you were going to be the controller. We'll get to that in a little bit. For now, we're going to use the mouse pointer. So we're doing a wait until. So that's under control. Find this wait until. Don't pick the wait 1 second block. Pick the wait until. And in the sensing, we're going to say wait until touching. We're going to select mouse pointer. So when the mouse pointer touches splats, something should happen. So we're going to, every time we touch a splat, we want to increase our score. So we're going to go to variables and change the score by 1. We want to then change the amount of splats on screen. So change splats on screen. Since we took 1 off the screen, we're going to change that by -1. So our score is going to go up, but the number of splats that are actually on the screen is going to go down. We want to add a sound here. If you have the sound pop loaded already, that's perfect. If not, go to choose sound and type in the word pop. You have a couple of choices, but I'm going to go with just the regular pop. Since I already have it loaded, I can pick it. So I'm going to go to sound, and I'm going to put play sound pop until done, and then delete this clone. So basically, and that's at the bottom of the control. Basically, what will happen is every time the mouse pointer touches a splat, it will delete. Let's see what happens here. So you can see the splats on the screen. Since there's 10 of them on the screen, it stopped putting them up there. So now, so you can see what's happening. Every time the mouse pointer touches one, they go away. Okay? All right. So what you want to make sure is that no more than 10 splats appear on the screen and they go away when you touch them with the mouse. Okay? All right, so now what we want to do is we want to put a timer on this because the goal of this is to get as many as you can in a certain amount of time. So once again, we're going to bring out a when green flag is clicked. We're going to create a variable now. We're going to call it countdown. So make a variable in the variable section. We'll call it countdown. And click OK. We're going to leave it checked so that the user can see like how much time is left in the game. Okay, so when the game starts, we're going to want to set the countdown timer to 60. So they'll have 60 seconds. We're going to repeat this, so we want to bring out a repeat block. But we're not going to put an actual number. We're going to keep repeating until the countdown is done. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out another operator, and again, the less than operator, the one in the of these three that are grouped together, the one in the middle. Okay, so we're going to repeat until countdown is less than 1. So basically meaning that it's at 0. What we're going to do then is we're going to wait. So basically we need to teach the game how to count down. So we're going to repeat this until it's down to 0. We're going to wait 1 second, and then we're going to change the countdown by -1. So this basically says every second, take 1 second off of the countdown. Since we're starting at 60, every 1 second that would happen. Okay, once it hits 0, we want the game basically to stop. So we're going to go to Control, and we're going to go to Stop, Other Scripts in Sprite, and we're going to create a new broadcast, and we're going to broadcast, and we're going to create a new message, time's up. So broadcast time's up. And that will trigger the game to end, but I'm not going to show you how to end that. You are going to figure that out. It's one of the things that you do for this game. All right, but y'all want to make yourself the controller here. So let's go about how we're going to do that. So in order to make us the controller, we're going to have to change, we're going to have to add a difficulty setting to the game so that when we touch one of the splats, we actually have to like erase it. You'll see what I mean once I turn my camera on. So we need to create a variable called difficulty. So make one more variable, call it difficulty. It should be for all sprites. And click OK. And you should uncheck it. The only two variables that should be checked right now are score and countdown. Those should be the only two that are checked. We're going to, when green flag is clicked, we can just put this right in the splat area. So another when green flag clicked. We're going to set the difficulty. So we're going to set difficulty to 40. And we'll talk about changing that later. Then the next thing you're going to need to do is down at the bottom of the code area, there's this little blue plus sign right here. We need to bring in a new set of code. So click that, and then click on, you should see some choices. Click Video Sensing. And that's going to open up a green area. And you can see I just came on the screen. Okay, so there's this turn video on. We're going to bring that out and put it right underneath the difficulty setting. I'll be honest with you though, I'm going to turn my video off for a minute until I finish this. Okay, so now we have this when I start as a clone piece of code. We're going to make some changes here because right now we're saying wait until touching the mouse pointer. We're going to pull that out and we're going to add something different there. So we need to bring out a repeat block and snap that in there. We're going to do 5. And then we're going to do a wait until and put that inside of there. And we need an operator, so go to the green area. And this time we want a greater than. So of the 3 that are grouped in the middle, the one on top. So we're going to wait until, and then in that video area, this video motion on sprite, snap that into the window. So video motion on sprite is greater than difficulty. So in the variable section, grab difficulty. And then under looks, we're going to do change. It's going to say color effect, but we're going to say ghost effect to make it transparent by 20. All right, so once we have that on there, go ahead and snap the bottom part, the change score, change splats on screen. We don't need this wait until touching mouse pointer. So basically what this code is doing is it is making us sort of erase. Let me turn my video on now. Okay, it's making us erase. So you can't just touch it. You're going to see you're going to have to erase it. You're also not going to want to be this close to the camera. You're actually going to want to stand away from the camera to make the game a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. So you see the countdown timer. You see the splats on screen, although I'm only getting one splat on screen right now. Let me analyze my code and see what's happening here. Set splat, change splats. When I start as a clone, change splats on screen by 1, max splats to 10. All of that looks good. Let me pause the video and figure out what I'm doing wrong. Then I'll tell you what it was. Okay, I know my mistake. This is a bad one. So I made the mistake earlier. It's in this piece of code right here. I brought out the wrong repeat code. Sorry. So take this repeat code and pull it out. And be more careful than I was. We need repeat until. So this block right here. I knew something seemed strange. So now just bring everything from this code into this one. And everything should work now. That was my mistake. Repeat until the countdown is less than 1. I just had repeat countdown less than 1. So that was like stopping the game immediately. So there you go. And so now, as I'm backing up, you see that you don't just touch it. You actually have to move over it. And they're fading out a little bit. And you have to see how many you can get. So this is why you don't want to be super close. If you're this close, it's too easy. You got to stand back. Look at that. Look at me. Okay, I'm too tired. All right, but you get the idea. All right, so now in this game, I guess I'll leave the camera on. Oh, one thing that'll probably happen the first time you run it is your Chromebook will ask you, is it okay to use the camera? You should accept it. You should allow it. So in this game, there's going to be a couple things that you're going to want to do. Instruction scenes always. We put in about broadcasting game over, so you're going to have to code in what's going to happen when the game is over by putting some sort of you win, you lose screen, or you got this certain score, whatever it is. You guys are going to have to come up with that as part of the changes you're going to make to this. But good luck. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do.